Minnesota Vikings have been very competitive so far this season. Of course, they won their Week 1 game in overtime over the Jacksonville Jaguars, went on the road last week and almost beat the Indianapolis Colts, fell in the end there when Adam Vinatieri made a field goal, giving the Colts their first win in the Andrew Luck era. But still, I think Minnesota fans, a lot to feel good about over these first 2 weeks. They're tied for first in the division, tied for first and tied for last because every team in the NFC North is 1-1. That's the good news. The bad news is the San Francisco 49ers are coming to town, and the 49ers are no Jacksonville Jaguars or Indianapolis Colts. This is a team that has looked like the best team in the NFL through the first 2 weeks. And, I could care less about the San Francisco 49ers, first of all. And Jim Harbaugh comes off to me as kind of an abrasive guy. Not sure I like him. Not sure I would like him personally. But you can't argue with what he's done with that team. And I can't help but root for these 49ers because with each week and each dominating win, they once again prove the people wrong who say that this is a new NFL and passing the ball is all that's important and you don't have to run the ball, you don't have to play defense, you must pass the ball a lot to win. That is just, and so many people have bought into this. You even hear ex-players who have become analysts saying this. Well, in this NFL, you have to have an elite quarterback. You have to be able to pass. I mean, how many times have you heard people say that? I got news for you. The best team in the entire NFL, in this NFL, today's NFL, does not have an elite quarterback. They do not have an elite wide receiving core. They do not throw it all over the lot. They do play dominating physical defense. Their offense predicated on the power running of Frank Gore. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch. And it's a reminder that when you see teams like Green Bay, New England, teams that have evolved over the last couple of years into soft teams who really do win without playing defense and just by throwing the ball everywhere and just outscoring teams, I can score more than you can. When you see a team like that face a dominating physical unit like the San Francisco 49ers team, and you see them just get smacked around. And that's what happened the first week of the season. San Francisco physically dominated Green Bay, went up there in Lambeau Field, a convincing win. You won't find anybody arguing right now that Green Bay is the best team in the NFC because you can't make that argument after seeing them play the San Francisco 49ers. And the Niners did the same thing the next week, last week, to the Detroit Lions. Another explosive offense. Now the Minnesota Vikings, they're no Detroit Lions or Green Bay Packers on offense. This is a team, once again, they rely on Adrian Peterson. Is he back to 100% yet? He's gotten a lot of work the first couple of games, has not yet had a 100-yard game. You would guess he's still hampered slightly by that knee injury, that devastating knee injury he suffered last season. Not many people expected him back already, but Christian Ponder, if they have to lean too heavily on Christian Ponder, that is trouble. This is a guy who has not been reliable. I know it's only his second year, so he was a rookie last year. A lot of rookies struggle, but this guy's had a propensity in his young NFL career to turn the ball over. And again, facing this Niners defense, I just think it could be a long, long day for Christian Ponder. Now, the Niners currently installed as a 7-point favorite in this game on BETDAQ. San Francisco -7. Total not yet released on BETDAQ. That total is 43.5 right now out in Vegas. Should be out in the next few hours on BETDAQ. Should be right there in that area, 43.5. And I really lean towards San Francisco here. You don't know. It feels like the obvious play at this point. The Vikings, even though they have been competitive, losing a close game, winning a close game, the Niners are a huge step up in class to what they've been facing. And unless they somehow lose focus or down this game or don't play well, based on what I've seen the last couple of weeks, I don't see how San Francisco doesn't come in here and absolutely push Minnesota around. I mean, how is Minnesota going to consistently move the ball in this game? They're going to have to find some way to get Percy Harvin heavily involved. I think Harvin now with Peterson's injury, and Peterson might not be fully recovered from that injury, Harvin has emerged their best offensive player. He's sort of their guy right now in that offense, but I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't have any faith this week at the Vikings and the Vikings at home. Don't know if I'm going to take San Francisco and lay a touchdown as a road favorite. San Francisco is conservative on offense. They don't run it up. They don't run the scoreboard up. Once again, they run the ball, control the clock, win the time possession battle. And so sometimes laying big numbers with this team, not a great idea. But, what am I saying? Betting on the San Francisco 49ers has been a great idea. They are 14-5-1 against the number since Jim Harbaugh took over at the beginning of last season. They're better than any team in the league to back over the past year and 2 games. And so I don't see why it can't continue this week on the road against a limited Minnesota Vikings team.